But here comes Jesse's first down, the two-time world champion, not to be denied, going past the champion 3-year-old.
Remington Park, right now.
Remington Park, Thursday, race number 4 from HorsePlayerNow.com. Brian W. Spencer and Jerry Shottenkirk. And Jerry, before we get into the first spotlight play of the weekend, give us a little overview of kind of all the goings-on. A big day of racing on Saturday, big week overall at Remington.
Well, it is a huge weekend evening on Saturday, featuring the Remington Park Futurity and Derby and several other stakes races. That's always a huge night. And as far as the Remington Park Derby goes, it's really kind of the second of the 3 big futurities Remington Park offers. They started with the Oklahoma Futurity, and now it's on to the Remington Park Futurity, and then the Heritage Place Futurity will be presented on the final weekend in June. So this is really a huge night for not just 2-year-olds, but the 3-year-olds in the Remington Park Derby. A lot of horses that were great 2-year-olds are in there, and it should be a great race and a great night.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of those races over the course of this special show for Remington Park, Oklahoma-bred Derby and Futurity weekend. But Jerry, starting with race number 4 on this Thursday night card, it's a maiden event going 300 yards, and you're going to be on the number 2, Relentless here.
This looks like a really good spot for our Relentless, or Relentless, if you will, for trainer Greg Sanders. He's been out a couple times and tried a pretty tough nut to crack in EC Revenge, who won a trial that this one was in, and then in the final of the Oklahoma Futurity, he came back and won. Our Relentless was 4th and 6th against him, but tonight he gets in against straight maidens and looks like he's in a real good spot to score.
So there's Jerry's look at his first spotlight play of the weekend in Thursday's 4th race. Make sure to stay tuned to listen to all of Jerry's key and spotlight plays throughout this big weekend at Remington Park, and be sure to visit us on YouTube. Use your Horse Player Now for an entire full show of all of these spotlight races of the weekend. Stay tuned for more. Good luck.
Here comes Jesse's first down, the two-time world champion, not to be denied, going past the champion 3-year-old.
Remington Park, right now.
Taking a spotlight look now at Thursday race number 10 at Remington Park. This one an optional claiming 50, going 350 yards from HorsePlayerNow.com. Brian W. Spencer and Jerry Shottenkirk. And Jerry, this is the race within that primetime pick 4 that you wanted to highlight on tonight's card. You're going to go 3 deep in here, though, but going to use the number 8, Misfit, on top.
Misfit looks like he's definitely the class of this one. Trained by Trey Wood, he's won over a couple $100,000 in his career. And last time out, he was in the East Tech Stakes and didn't really fire, finishing 6th, but comes back in an optional claiming race and looks like he's in a pretty good spot. Now, there are a couple others in here that are coming off big efforts that I threw in the pick 4. The 10-horse HR Back in the Day for trainer Stacy Charette Hill comes in off a non-winners at 3 allowance victory over some decent horses. And the 11-horse Apolitical Valor also comes in off a win. Now, this one was in for $10,000 last time and takes a fairly decent step up in class, but judging from that last one, he probably had a little more in the tank, and looks like he should be competitive with these. So in the event he can get up and beat some of the heavy hitters here, he'll spark a pretty good prize. So 8, 10, and 11 are my 3 horses in the 10th race.
Misfit on top of those 3, though. And looking back, though, to the start, that was race number 10, Jerry's key race within this primetime pick 4 sequence. But as we get set for the first leg of that sequence, starting in race number 8, Jerry's suggested play here on the Thursday night card is the 9-2 with the 1-10, with the 8-10-11, with the 5-10. That one goes off in race number 8. For a recap of that ticket and all of Jerry's selections and suggested plays throughout this entire weekend, visit RemingtonPark.com. Good luck.
Here comes Jesse's first down, the two-time world champion, not to be denied, going past the champion 3-year-old.
Remington Park, right now.
Remington Park Friday, race number 7, $5,000 condition claimers, non-winners of 3 races lifetime. They'll be traveling 350 yards from horseplayernow.com. I'm Brian W. Spencer, joined as always by Jerry Shottenkirk. And Jerry, in the middle of this Friday program, who gets your call here in race number 7?
We're going to start it off with the 8-horse Spring Hill Cartel in this 350-yard race. She comes in off a decent fourth, going 300 yards. Now, she gets 50 extra yards here, and a lot of times that'll be just what the doctor orders. So I think Spring Hill Cartel, not in a real tough spot here, and I think she'll finish pretty well for trainer Adam Sellers.
And if you're going to go with Spring Hill Cartel on top, who else could we maybe try to get into the gimmicks if you're looking to play the exactas here, Jerry?
Well, the 5 big techs from trainer Rick Robinson comes from a barn that has been pretty hot lately, and this one comes in off a victory against non-winners at 2. So the 5 big techs should be considered, and also the 3 Inspirio was a decent third last time in non-winners at 3, just ahead of Spring Hill Cartel. This one is normally in at 300 yards. Goes a little longer today, but the 3 does have a lot of speed and could be tough to catch. But I've settled on the 8 here, Spring Hill Cartel, to win it.
It is Spring Hill Cartel getting the call there in race number 7 for Jerry on the Friday program. Make sure to stay tuned. We've got a look at the 10th race, Jerry's best bet, and a look at the primetime pick 4 coming up next.
But here comes Jesse's first down, the two-time world champion, not to be denied, going past the champion 3-year-old.
Remington Park, right now.
Approaching tonight's primetime pick 4 from horseplayernow.com, Brian W. Spencer and Jerry Shottenkirk, and we're getting set for that primetime pick 4 to kick off in race number 9, but we're going to feature the 10th race tonight, looking ahead into the middle of this sequence to Jerry's best bet and single in this late pick 4. It's an optional claiming 20, going 550 yards, and for Jerry, it's all about the number 5 Ferrari James.
Perfect spot for Ferrari James here, going the 550. He's been out just once this year in a 300-yard allowance race. He finished second, beaten just ahead by homeboy James. Now he stretches out to 550 here and goes in against horses that he's not accustomed to this level. He generally runs in stakes races and upper allowance races. I think he does get a lot of class relief in this one, not that he needs it. And going the 550, I think he's definitely the one to beat. So Ferrari James is perfectly placed here for trainer Manuel Campos and looks like a winner.
And Ferrari James going to get that call as the single and best bet for Jerry there in race number 10. And as we approach the first leg of tonight's primetime pick 4, here's Jerry's suggested play, $13.50. You can punch it starting in race number 9. His ticket, the 10-9-5, with that single of the 5 Ferrari James, with the 8-4-5 and the 10-7-5 for that ticket. Rest of Jerry's selections and more suggested plays, all of that available at remingtonpark.com. Good luck.
But here comes Jesse's first down, the two-time world champion, not to be denied, going past the champion 3-year-old.
Remington Park, right now.
It's Remington Park Futurity and Remington Park Derby Day, and it's going to be Jerry Shottenkirk's first key play of this big Saturday card. It comes here in race number 4. This one an allowance, non-winners of 2 lifetime, going 350 yards, and Jerry going to head to the number 6 EOS decommissioned best bet on the Saturday program.
Well, trainer Trey Wood wins a lot of races around here, and it looks like he's about to win another here with the EOS decommissioned. Regular rider Ricky Ramirez is up on this one, and those two, when they get together here at Remington Park, they are generally pretty tough. This one comes out of a fourth-place finish in a Derby trial, which is a much tougher scenario than this. This is an allowance race for non-winners at 2. Going 350. Now he does shorten up a little bit in distance from the 400 yards, but should finish full of run. And the big circle goes around EOS decommissioned number 6 in the 4th race.
And if you're looking to build that bankroll for some of the big races later in the card, EOSD commission the number 6 there in race number 4. That again, Jerry Shottenkirk's best bet on the Saturday card. Stay tuned for a couple more key race previews on the big Saturday program and a look at tonight's primetime pick 4.
So here comes Jesse's first down, the two-time world champion, not to be denied, going past the champion 3-year-old.
Remington Park, right now.
Remington Park Saturday race number 8. This is the Easy Date Stakes from HorsePlayerNow.com. Brian W. Spencer and Jerry Shottenkirk focusing on some key races on this big Saturday program at Remington Park. And in this Easy Date Stakes, Jerry, they'll be going 350 yards, and you're going to look to the inside, the number 1, Wetona's La Fawn.
I think this is a big wake-up call for Wetona's La Fawn, who comes out of the Decada Stakes, where she never really got involved, but we know her better than that she can do a lot better, especially over this racetrack. You know, she's won 5 out of 9 races at Remington Park and has run some really, really good ones against some top-notch companies. So Wetona's La Fawn drawing down inside after being far outside last time, I think will help her out for trainer Clinton Crawford.
Wetona's La Fawn getting the call there for Jerry. That one in race number 8. It's the Easy Date Stakes. Right after this, we'll have Jerry's selections in the big ones to close out this weekend's key races at Remington Park.
So here comes Jesse's first down, the two-time world champion, not to be denied, going past the champion 3-year-old.
Remington Park, right now.
Getting set for the big ones here on the Saturday program, race 10 and race 11 from HorsePlayerNow.com. Brian W. Spencer and Jerry Shottenkirk. And Jerry, your spotlight race here on the back end of this Saturday card is the Remington Park Derby. But before we get there, just give us a top call here in race number 10, the Remington Park Oklahoma-bred Futurity.
I like the 3 Uptown Babe here. For trainer Gil Valdivia, this one comes off a 2 3/4 length of victory in her trial, and looks pretty good here. Now, that being said, this is a really, really strong race. From the top qualifier to the 10th qualifier, there isn't a whole lot of ground between them. So, even though Uptown Babe is my choice, I would recommend looking around for a little price here and taking a shot at it that way.
Maybe a very tepid choice there in the Futurity for Jerry, and that's why we're going to spotlight race 11 instead, the Remington Park Oklahoma-bred Derby. This one 400 yards, and you're in here on the number 7, What a Flash.
I think What a Flash is really coming along. Last time out, he was second, beaten just a neck by Apocalyptical Jess, who's in here. Now, Apocalyptical Jess won the All-American Futurity last year. And, in this game, you're not going to get better credentials than that. But in this trial race for this, What a Flash really gave it his best and got beat just a neck and was really actually getting to the winner there. So I think he's coming into his own. I think he's going to be a little bit overlooked on the board for trainer John Steinbaugh. And I really think he's got a decent shot here to score the price.
What a Flash, always worth a look at a price there, and that's Jerry's final spotlight play of the weekend. After this, I'll be back with a visit from Remington track announcer Dale Day to close out this weekend's big show at Remington Park. Good luck.
So here comes Jesse's first down, the two-time world champion, not to be denied, going past the champion 3-year-old.
Remington Park, right now.
Big weekend of racing at Remington Park, and that means a visit from track announcer Dale Day. And Dale, before we get to the big races and what's going on track this weekend, let's circle back to the cancellation of the majority of that card last week, as it sounds like there's going to be a makeup date that we can get players to put on the calendar.
That's correct, Brian. Saturday, April 13th, we ran one race and then just determined it was not a good idea to keep going on. The track in Oklahoma City had long rains all day long. Many times it was very heavy rain. So we canceled 11 races on April 13th. There's going to be kind of a makeup date with horses that were canceled on that past week, having preference, obviously, on Monday, April 29th. So an extra day of racing Monday, April 29th, with an 11:30 a.m. Central Time post time. So we'll be starting early day race card on Monday, April 29th. So extra racing coming up at Remington Park.
Monday, usually my day to sit around and do absolutely nothing, so that will give me something to do early that afternoon. Monday, April 29th, that makeup date for the Remington cancellation last week. Now, Dale, big racing coming up this weekend, which means some on-track promotions. Talk just a little bit about sort of the big events this weekend, and more importantly, maybe what some of the local players can expect to find on track.
Right. Remington Park Futurity Night coming up on Saturday, April 20. It's the second richest day of racing this season, the first being the Heritage Place and Remington Park Championship card at the end of the season. This race date for Oklahoma breds, primarily 2-year-olds for the Futurity, worth $895,000 plus, and 3-year-olds going in the Remington Park Derby, that one worth well over $300,000. And those coming out to the track at Remington Park Saturday night take part in this easy contest/promotion. It's very simple to play. Just get your entry card at 5 p.m. starting in the racing entrance lobby for the Win Play Show Me the Money contest. We did this on opening weekend. It was extremely popular, so we're going to bring it back on certain race dates, and we're bringing it back Saturday. All you have to do is get your entry card and pick one horse in races 3 through 12 for Saturday night. As long as your horse runs first, second, or third, Win Place or Show, you continue on. And if you can run the table and get all the way through race 12 with your picks doing that, you will win or share in a jackpot prize of $3,000. And if you get deep enough into the contest, there'll be consolation monies kicking in case no one runs all 12 races out or the end of the contest out. So a chance to pick up easy extra money. Do your handicapping if you choose. If not, pick your numbers, pick your names, pick your horses, however you like to do it. But as long as your horse runs first, second, or third, you have a chance to win $3,000 or more. And or split $3,000 or more, $3,000 in Win Place Showing the Money on Saturday night, April 20th. Enter at 5 o'clock. That's when entries begin in the racing entrance lobby.
So if you're there in the Oklahoma City area and planning on attending Remington Park for this big day of racing on Saturday, you can get involved in that. As Dale said, you can sign up starting at 5. And Dale, we've talked about the makeup date coming up on Monday, April 29th. But one day prior to that, Sunday the 28th, one more sort of fun, big event for those locals to be able to come out and see at the track.
Yeah, Extreme Race Day at Remington Park. We've done this. I believe this is the 10th year coming up now, and it's been extremely popular as well. It's one of our largest attendance days of the year, if not the largest, and that includes outgaining Kentucky Derby and some of our big race days in the fall. So we expect another 20 to 25,000 people coming through during the day. They'll be watching the Express Ranch Clydesdales, a local Clydesdale outfit here in Oklahoma City area. They'll be on track for their annual match race. That'll take place after race number 1. And then it's a variety of ostriches, zebras, and camels that will compete in between the horse races the rest of the day. Plus the flying pigs are out there as well. They'll be racing their own little arena set up on the track plaza, but not actually on the racetrack. So it's a lot of fun. We do this day for our charity partners. They're welcomed out. It's a chance to build awareness for the different charity partners we have at Remington Park, and also a chance to have a lot of fun and get some families out and expose them to some great racing as well. Sunday, April 28th, first race is at 1:30 on that afternoon.
We'll be sure to talk about that again next week, as that will come towards the end of next week's live racing. Big action, though, throughout the entire weekend, and we've got you covered for tonight, Friday, and Saturday. You can check out horseplayernow.com. There's a page with all of the individual spotlight race previews. Visit remingtonpark.com for all of Jerry's selections and suggested wagers. On behalf of myself, Jerry Shottenkirk, and Remington track announcer Dale Day, thanks for listening, and best of luck all weekend at Remington Park.